Hello there you guys, welcome to another of my videos. So yesterday Manchester United beat FC Copenhagen by 1-0 after extra time in the Europa League quarter final. We have now reached three semi-finals this season, and it is our second European semi-final since Alex Ferguson's retirement. And we do play either Wolves or Sevilla in the semi-final, and we are now just 2 games away from winning our first trophy under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer era, and Solskjaer knows the importance of Manchester United winning the Europa League, because Solskjaer did recently say winning the Europa League as Manchester United manager would be one of our greatest achievements, and he would surpass 1999. Solskjaer yesterday had made around six changes from our win against Lask recently. Don't get me wrong, weren't the best of games. I don't think we were so good in the first half, but I thought in the second half we really improved. Now, obviously the goal in extra time came from a Bruno Fernandes penalty. I think that's 20 penalties that we've had in all competitions this season. I think we've been given around 10 penalties in the Premier League. But Bruno Fernandes had took the penalty well. Bruno Fernandes, I thought, didn't have the best of games for Manchester United. I don't think he weren't at his best. But Bruno Fernandes in the game did hit, I think, was it the crossbar? So he could actually had another goal than his penalty. But definitely Bruno Fernandes has made a difference in our team. I think Bruno Fernandes has scored like his 11 goals for Manchester United in all competitions since his arrival from Sporting Lisbon in January. Don't forget, Bruno Fernandes has won Player of the Month 3 times. I think he won it in, was it June? He won it in March, and he also won it in February. I think we got Bruno Fernandes in a deal worth around, was it £68 million back in January with add-ons included. But yeah, I don't think it was the best of performances by him. Paul Pogba, I thought he had a very good game for Manchester United yesterday. I thought he pulled the strings off very well in the midfield. I think he also created some good chances. He was also very creative in that midfield, was Pogba. And, like I said to you, towards the end of the Premier League season, I was very impressed with Pogba because he put some very good performances out. Obviously, for the vast majority of the Premier League season, I didn't really have a perception on Pogba because obviously he was out with that ankle injury, and Pogba has sustained quite a few injuries as a Manchester United player. I think, Paul Pogba will now be staying at Manchester United because Solskjaer did say prior to this game against Copenhagen that Pogba will stay at Man United, and he says he expects him to sign a new contract at the football club. I expect Pogba to sign a 4 or a 5-year deal. Don't forget, a couple of weeks before the season finished, it said that Pogba was close to signing a 5-year deal with Man United, and Fabrizio Romano, who's a very reliable Italian journalist, he recently said that Pogba's happy at Man United and he wants to stay at the club, and he says we will enter negotiations with his agent Mini Raiola over getting him a new contract at the club. As it stands at the moment, Pogba's just got under a year left on his Man United contract, but the club do have an option to extend it for a further year. Obviously, was it around this time last year, Paul Pogba came out and made an admission saying that he wanted to leave Manchester United because he was seeking for a new challenge. And at one point, he was looking very imminent he was going to be leaving the club, because don't forget, Real Madrid were in for him. There was a lot of narratives about him going back to Juventus. Paul probably did enjoy 4 good years with Juventus. Obviously, PSG, Barcelona and Inter Milan were in for him before. But I think his combination with Bruno Fernandes has been absolutely fantastic. As it stands at the moment, Paul Pogba is our most expensive signing at the football club. So yeah, he had a very, very good game. Anthony Martial, I thought he had a very, very good game yesterday. Martial, did have some big chances in the game. So actually, Martial should have got his name on the score sheet. Don't forget, was it in the first half? We had been given a penalty from the referee when Martial had been brought down. But actually, VAR then intervened and obviously, ruled it out. So it wasn't actually, given by VAR. But Martial, was definitely making things happen. He really, really was. He obviously, was the one that got us, was it the penalty in extra time. But Martial, did deserve a goal the way he played. Like I said, Martial is flourishing as a Manchester United player, and he has flourished this season under Ole Gunnar Solskas. I think Martial's got 23 goals in all competitions this season. Scored 51 goals in the Premier League. And, throughout the course of this season, Anthony Martial has been playing in that number 9 role, so he has been playing centrally, but he actually looks effective in that central position, even though that's not his predominant position. But he's had 2 good seasons out of the 5 seasons he's been with us. Done well this season under Solskjaer, and did well in his debut season under the Louis van Gaal era. We did get Martial for around £36 million, didn't we? From Monaco, and we did get him at the age of 19. Mason Greenwood, I thought he had a very, very good game as well, did Greenwood. It was good to see him get a start. Greenwood had some good chances, didn't he? Don't forget, Greenwood had his goal disallowed for offside. And also, too, Greenwood had hit the post in the game, and he also was making things happen on that right-hand side. Greenwood, I think, has enjoyed a very, very good season for Manchester United. It was his first full season in the senior squad. And definitely, is the foreseeable future for Manchester United. What a game he had. Marcus Rashford, to be honest with you, I thought he had a poor game, did Marcus Rashford. He really, really did. I think he had a couple of chances. Quite wasteful he was quite wasteful, to be honest with you. And he just looked a bit fatigued, did Marcus Rashford. To me, doesn't look fully fit. But like I said, I had the perception on him throughout the course of the Premier League season. At the start of the season, didn't really make the best of impacts. Then, obviously, Rashford was out with a back injury, was out for a few months. And then towards the end of the season, didn't make the best of impacts, but still managed to score a few goals. Rashford still got 22 goals, I think, in all competitions this season for us. And, I still think he's the foreseeable future for Man United. Rashford has been a United player since the age of 7, and he has been in our senior squad since 2016. But yeah, very, very, very poor performance by him yesterday. Fred, I thought Fred did well. I really, really did. Did well alongside alongside Paul Pogba. And to be honest with you, I think Fred has enjoyed a pretty good season for Manchester United. He's definitely confounded his critics wrong. Because obviously, under the Jose Mourinho era, Fred did receive a lot of criticism. But there again, under Jose Mourinho era, Fred never really got his opportunities. We did pay, was it around £52 million for Fred from Shakhtar Donetsk back in Jose Mourinho's final transfer window. So Fred has now been at the club a couple of years. Brandon Williams, I thought he was superb. He had a very, very good game. Obviously started at left back. You know, Brandon Williams showed very, very good attacking intent. I thought decision making quite good. I think he lacked the final pass a bit, did Brandon Williams. And maybe there's still some aspects of his game that I've got to improve. But I think that Luke Shaw, to be honest with you, is going to remain our first choice left back for next season. Because obviously, you know, Luke Shaw is more experienced than Brandon Williams. Obviously, Williams is going to get chances now because obviously, you know, Luke Shaw's out with an ankle injury. Luke Shaw's going to be out with this ankle injury until the new season. And my only element of concern about Luke Shaw is that he's injury prone. You know, but prior to that, he's a very, very good left back. And this is Luke Shaw's endured 6 years at Manchester United. We did pay £30 million in from Southampton back in 2014. But Williams has played a lot of games throughout the course of the Premier League season. He really, really has. And, you know, prior to this game, Williams was asked quite a few questions during the press conference and that. And obviously, you know, Williams said, you know, he just wants to keep getting chances and, you know, he wants to keep improving as a Man United player and he wants to keep fit, obviously. And, you know, Williams hasn't only played at left-back throughout the course of the season. I think that's his predominant position, but I've also seen him play at left wing-back. I think I've also seen him play at right wing. I think he played at right wing against Liverpool. We had the good news regarding Williams recently because he signed a 4-year contract at Manchester United, didn't he? To keep at the club until 2024, and there is also an option of a further year. Williams did actually make his debut in our game against Rochdale in the AFL Cup, was it? And he made his first Premier League start against Brighton, did Brandon Williams. So I have been, you know, very, very impressed with him. Harry Maguire. I thought it was okay, Harry Maguire. Looked composed. He did get caught out a few times, but I think prior to that, you know, did okay in our back line. Harry Maguire, I've analysed this season, and like I've said, I think he has been up and down. And, you know, I think he's had some good games, and he's also had some bad games. Obviously, you know, we got Harry Maguire last summer from Leicester. You know, we got him in a deal with £80 million. So he's the second most expensive signing at the club, and he's the most expensive centre-half in the world. And some, you know, there's a lot of United fans saying that they don't think he's good enough to captain the team. So we should consider giving the captaincy to someone else. But yeah, I think overall he's enjoyed a pretty good season for Man United as Maguire. Eric Bailly, I don't think he did too bad actually. You know, yesterday Eric Bailly, obviously, you know, he started alongside Maguire. You know, same sort of thing as what I just said regarding Maguire. You know, his composure was quite good, and Bailly at times, you know, did get in some good positions. So yeah, you know, did quite well. Like I said, you know, this has been Bailly's 4th season at Manchester United. Obviously, you know, we got him under Jose Mourinho for £30 million from Villarreal, and Bailly was actually, you know, the first signing that we made under the Jose Mourinho, where, like I said, my only element of concern about Bailly is that he's injury prone, but throughout the course of the Premier League season, I haven't really had a perception on him because he's been out with injury. In pre-season in the summer of 2019, which was last summer, he sustained a bad knee injury and it kept him out till February this year. Then obviously came back, put some good performances out. Don't forget he also sustained a head injury in our 3-1 loss to Chelsea in the EFL Cup, in the FA Cup semi-final, sorry. But yeah, Wan-Bissaka, he obviously, you know, started at right back yesterday. I thought Wan-Bissaka had a pretty good game. I thought he lacked a bit of decision making, but I thought, yeah, defensively, again, very, very good. But I've always said, you know, Wan-Bissaka's defensive contributions always been very, very good. But again, he's lacking that attacking intent. We need to start seeing more of the attacking side of Wan-Bissaka's game. We really, really do. And I thought towards the end of the Premier League season, Wan-Bissaka did look fatigued and he did look off the pace and all of that. But I still think he's enjoyed a very, very good season for Manchester United. Obviously, it was his first season at the club. We got him from Crystal Palace last summer in a deal worth around £50 million. I thought overall had a pretty decent game. Sergio Romero, he surprisingly got the starting goal yesterday night. I actually thought De Gea would have been starting. But yeah, Romero did. Romero didn't really have much to do in the game. I don't recall him even having to make a world-class save in the game. And Solskas, don't forget, did say prior to this game against FC Copenhagen, he said he's got tough decisions to make on our 3 goalkeepers, and he says he doesn't. He says he thinks it will be difficult for us to keep De Gea, Romero, and Dean Henderson all at the club for next season. And that, so Solskjaer has got a goalkeeping decision to make. Sergio Romero, I think there's a chance, he could actually leave Manchester United in this summer transfer window. Maybe he won't, but I think if we're to get rid of him, we'd demand around £5 or £6 million for him. Romero has got a year left on his Man United contract. But the club do have an option to extend it for the further year. This has been Romero's 5th season at Man United. Obviously, we got him on a free from San Pandora back in 2015. But yeah, if we do recall Dean Henderson from his loan, then Romero will become our 3rd choice goalkeeper. And obviously Romero won't want to be 3rd choice. Romero obviously plays in our cup games. But I've always said to you, and I'll stick to what I say, I think Solskjaer needs to put Dean Henderson as number 1 goalkeeper for next season. Solskjaer did recently say that, he don't feel as though Dean Henderson's ready to be number 1. But he said before the Sheffield United game, in the second game after lockdown, that he expects Dean Henderson to be our number 1 and England's number 1 goalkeeper in the future. Because he's got that experience behind him now, because he's enjoyed 2 successful loans with Sheffield United and he has been Sheffield United's player of the season. Dean Henderson's current contract at Man United runs until 2022. He did recently say that would offer Dean Henderson a new deal worth around £60,000 a week. Obviously to fend off Chelsea's interest in him. So yeah, we need to put him as number 1. And De Gea, I don't think he's not good enough to be our number 1 anymore. He has been our number 1 for several years. Obviously in the game yesterday as well, we brought some substitutions on. I've got to make an admission regarding Juan Mata. I thought he changed the game when he came on. He really, really did. And like I've said to you on my other videos, I know that Juan Mata doesn't get a lot of chances now at Manchester United, but when he does make a fantastic impact. He definitely, made the difference. I thought quite a few of our subs made the difference, to be honest. We know this has been Juan Mata's 6th season at Manchester United. Obviously, we got him from Chelsea back in 2014 for just under £40 million. I think we got him, was it, for around 37 or 38 million. We got him in under the David Moyes era. Jesse Lingard also came on in the game. Obviously, didn't score. Obviously, prior to this game against Copenhagen, Lingard had scored in his past 2 games for the football club. Obviously, scored in the game against Lask in the last 16. And he also scored in our game against Leicester on the final day of the Premier League season. When he scored against Leicester, that was his first goal for Manchester United, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first game in charge. So that just indicates how inconsistent Lingard has been. We also saw Nemanja Matic come on. I thought actually, Matic made an impact when he came on. I'm actually, surprised that we didn't start Matic in the game. I think Matic has enjoyed a pretty good season for Man United, to be honest with you. especially towards the end of the season. Towards the end of the season, Matic was obviously getting starts. He was getting there ahead of the likes of Fred and McTominay. It wasn't so long ago that Matic had signed a 3-year contract with the football club. And, this has been Matic's, it was his 3rd season at Man United. We did get him from Chelsea back in 2017 in a deal worth around £40 million. Matic. We also saw Scott McTominay come on in the game. Didn't do too bad, when he came on either. He didn't do too bad when he came on either. McTominay, he's done all right throughout the course of the season. Obviously, I think it was before the Sheffield United game. It had been announced that Scott McTominay had signed a 5-year contract with the football club. So McTominay is under contract with Man United until 2025. I think it's the foreseeable future for us. But he was out of that ankle injury, don't forget, earlier on in the season. Was McTominay in that. I read some of the stats of the game yesterday, and we had a total of 26 shots on goal. We created around 18 chances, and we had 14 shots on target. And we only won by 1-0. Johnson, FC Copenhagen's goalkeeper, made actually a lot of good saves. You probably got to say he was their man of the match. Copenhagen, didn't really... Well, they had some chances, but I don't even think they registered one shot on target. I think they created some chances, but they didn't create a great deal. But yeah. So it's very, very good that we are into the semi-finals of the Europa League. It really, really is. And I expected us, to beat Copenhagen. And I said to you, didn't I, Solskas, wouldn't have taken any risks. I think it was actually, the youngest team we had gone with in the Europa League for some years. Obviously, we started 2 teenagers, didn't we? And that was Brandon Williams and Mason Greenwood. But I don't think it was actually our strongest 11. It was a pretty strong team, but it wasn't our strongest 11, was it? But have you noticed, when we don't go with our strongest 11, we seem to struggle to break teams down, and that was a, prime example yesterday against FC Copenhagen. Obviously, we saw it in the 2-1 win against in the last 16. We also struggled against Chelsea in the FA Cup semi-final. We didn't go with our strongest team then. We struggled against Norwich in the FA Cup quarter-final, but we still won, but didn't, go with our strongest team. But, yeah. We are now, we have obviously throughout the course of this Europa League been the favourites to win it. But if we do win it, it will be our first trophy under Solskjaer. And, it will be our first trophy in over 3 years. So whoever wins out of Wolves and Sevilla tonight, we play in the semi-final. By the way, I think Inter Milan are into the semi-finals of the competition. But like I said, in the first half of the game, you can say some people would have been surprised by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's tactics. They really, really would. But there's still improvements needed in our team, without a shadow of a doubt. There's still areas, where Manchester United are lacking. You've got to say we've got to be more clinical in front of goal, because we do create a lot of chances, but, we don't convert a lot of them. I think we need to be definitely quicker on the flanks. I think, we need to improve defensively. I'd love United as well to possibly, sign a left-back or, a left wing-back. Solskjaer has basically outlined his transfer plans, and, he's instructed our board to go and get his preferred targets. Solskjaer has said he wants to make around at least 3 signings in this summer transfer window. And I think Ed Woodward has said he wants Man United to make around 3 or 4 signings because Solskjaer wants to overhaul the Manchester United squad. But these big decisions to be made in this summer transfer window, what players we're going to recommend in, and obviously what players we are going to get rid of, because quite frankly, there is still deadwood at the football club. So this summer transfer window is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 4th transfer window as Manchester United manager. Like I said, so far Solskjaer's made 4 permanent signings at the football club and spent around £220 million on these players. I think definitely our recruitment is improved under Solskjaer, because we've been criticised for several years, reflecting on how poor our recruitment policy's been. We've been criticised for overpaying for players. I've seen an upturn in form since January. We haven't lost in the league, don't forget, since Burnley. So we're unbeaten in our last 14 league games. Don't forget, we went on a 19-game unbeaten run in all competitions until Chelsea beating us in the FA Cup semi-finals. So I have seen a hell of a lot of improvements. Solskjaer's been at Manchester United now over a year and a half. And obviously, earlier on in the Premier League season, we had endured our worst start ever to a Premier League season. At that point, Solskjaer was close to getting sacked as Man United manager, and there was talks of Pochettino and Massimiliano Allegri coming in. But obviously, it didn't happen, and I outlined the reasons why Solskjaer didn't get sacked as Manchester United manager. So far this season, Solskjaer's exceeded expectations. Obviously, got us qualification for the Champions League. And I did say, didn't I, how important Champions League qualification was for our players, attracting players, and for the financial structure. Obviously, we finished 3rd. That was a fantastic achievement. And also, too, we progressed to the EFL Cup semi-final. We also progressed to the FA Cup semi-final. Now we have progressed to the Europa League semi-final. So, he's definitely, exceeding expectations. But Solskjaer's obviously, going to have to exceed expectations for next season. And next season, he's going to have bigger expectations to exceed than this season. Because next season, I think we'll be expected to challenge for the title. Obviously, we've got to spend money to compete with the likes of Manchester City and Liverpool. Our transfer budget's been revealed. We have been given around £140 million to spend in this summer transfer window and that. So that should get us a couple of players in. But we are going to sell players in this summer transfer window, so our transfer budget will increase that way. But one thing I'm delighted about is that, Solskjaer proved his critics wrong. Because I was very, very critical of Solskjaer earlier on in the season, and so too were a lot of Manchester United fans. By the way, I think Solskjaer's learnt a lot at the football club. He has now got that managerial experience behind him. Throughout the course of the season, Solskjaer has made a lot of rotation. But that's obviously no reflect on the injuries that Man United have had. But I've got to credit him. He's given everybody their chances, more or less, to express themselves. But Solskjaer did say when he got appointed in as Man United manager, everybody would get their chances. I think he's also promoted the youth well. He's also, promoted the youth well. And, we have got just 3 injuries at the moment, and that's Tuan Zebe, Luke Shaw, and Phil Jones. I think Phil Jones has got a knee injury, and obviously, none of them travelled to Germany. Obviously, Delors, he didn't play any part again. I think Diego Delors is definitely going to be leaving Manchester United in this summer transfer window. Everton have recently been in for him. He struggled for game time, and had back-to-back injuries near the start of the season. I think he's only made 11 appearances for Man United in all competitions this season. But I think we're going to get rid of around 6 or 7 players in this summer transfer window. By the way, I just want to give you some breaking news regarding Jadon Sancho. It was coming from the BBC yesterday saying that Borussia Dortmund's sporting director, Michael Zorg, he has said that Jadon Sancho is staying at Borussia Dortmund and the decision is final. And he also said that he's going to be part of their plans for next season, and he said he won't be joining Man United in this summer transfer window. And he also said that Dortmund extended Jadon Sancho's contract secretly. Reportedly, it got extended until 2023. So this is what Michael Zorg has come out and said. But we've actually not given up on the signing of Jadon Sancho. I think it's likely now that his move to Man United is off, because obviously yesterday Sancho joined Borussia Dortmund's training camp in Switzerland. And I think if he was coming to Man United, obviously, he wouldn't have joined their training camp. But obviously, it's been Borussia Dortmund's asking price that has definitely, been the stumbling block. Borussia Dortmund's valuation's £108 million. Obviously, Dortmund looking for around £90 million up front. We only want to pay around £60 or £70 million up front. So I think Jadon Sancho out of Man United is likely to be off. But I wanted to get Sancho because he's our number one priority target and he would dramatically improve Man United. But even if we signed Sancho, it wouldn't be enough. We'd need more than him. Some news as well on Chris Smalling. Reportedly Inter Milan have joined Roma in the race for Chris Smalling. Chris Smalling could become the fourth player to join Inter Milan from Manchester United in 12 months. Because obviously Lukaku, Ashley Young and Sanchez have all joined Inter Milan from Man United. I think we said want around £23 million for Chris Smalling. That's our valuation. He did recently come back to Man United because he was out on loan with Roma. He did well in his loan spell with Roma. But Solskjaer did insist recently that Smalling does have a future at Manchester United. And Smalling's been at the club around, 9 or 10 years now. Still got a contract with us until 2022. So, yeah. So, anyway, guys, on the next video, I will be giving you my player ratings. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always. And take care. God bless. And I'll see you all again very, very soon.